Dutasteride. Is it better than finasteride for hair loss? Let's find out. So the first thing you have to know is that dutasteride belongs to a class of drugs called 5-alpha reductase inhibitors. And this is the same exact class of drug as finasteride. To figure out how it works, let's go back to our finasteride lesson. So you have testosterone on the one hand, and you have this enzyme called 5-alpha reductase that converts testosterone to DHT. Now DHT then goes and acts on the genetically prone follicles to cause miniaturization or balding. What finasteride and dutasteride do is block this enzyme, 5-alpha reductase. So no more testosterone can be converted to DHT, thus reducing the effect on genetically prone follicles. Now it gets slightly more complicated than this, because as it turns out, you have two types of 5-alpha reductase enzymes. You have type 1 and type 2. Now, type 1 are mainly found in the skin and in the liver, okay? While type 2 are found in reproductive tissue, so that's your prostate, your gonads, etc. Now what dutasteride does is it's non-selective in its inhibition of 5-alpha reductase. So what does that mean? Quite simply, it knocks out both type 1 and type 2 5-alpha reductase, where a drug like finasteride will only take out type 2 of the isoforms of 5-alpha reductase. Well, what does this all mean? Well, quite simply, it means that dutasteride is a lot more potent at inhibiting 5-alpha reductase than finasteride is. But wait, is this a good thing? Most studies point to the fact that hair growth on dutasteride is slightly better than hair growth on finasteride. But side effects on dutasteride can be far worse than side effects on finasteride because of this total 5-alpha reductase inhibition. So do we use dutasteride at all for hair loss? The answer to that is yes, we do. But it's definitely not our first go-to option. We usually reserve it for patients who have already been on finasteride for a long time and the finasteride has stopped being effective. Or on a small subset of patients that they're finasteride resistant. It means that finasteride never really worked too well, and then we'll swap them over to dutasteride. But it's definitely not worth going for as your first option because, as I said again, side effects are a lot worse. And if you go back to my finasteride lesson, I'll tell you exactly why you don't want to crash DHT to the floor. It's not good, and we want hair, not side effects.